I already did the showman's thing that is expired for me. So no, I went in and the only attractive thing that was there was the cash prize for me. So
Alyssa, when you got the call for this show, what were your first thoughts? Were you immediate yes, or were you like, let me think about it?
I turned down the show when I got the call for the show, I turned it down at first. The thought of being on television again so soon after was a little nerve-wracking for me. So I actually turned it down at first. And then when they called me back the second time to reconsider was when I kind of made a pros and cons list, and I had a few more months to kind of, get back into the swing of things. I realized that this is a really great opportunity for me. And it's a way to kind of prove myself a little more as far as being a physical and strategic competitor on another show. So I would have tried out the MTV one before anything else. I was fine with doing either, honestly. For me, it's more so it's an opportunity that I shouldn't pass up was kind of my whole mindset. And that's why I kind of just said yes. But at the same time, it is nice to walk into a season where it's all newbies. So you feel a little more, a fair playing field kind of. So it was a little less nerve-wracking, I think I'd be if I did other than doing like the MTV one.
Yeah, because they always go after the newbies on that one.
Yeah, right. This one, it's like a fresh start, which I kind of like.
So when you hear rumblings of the cast, or even when you show up on the first day, you look around, you're like, all right, I got plenty of Big Brother 23 people here. Were you like, this is good for me, or we're going to be a target? For
the game, I felt it was probably bad for me, especially because 4 out of the 6 people on my season are a part of the most historic alliance in Big Brother history. So that can be already seen as a really big threat. As far as just like my mental state, it was really nice to walk into something totally new with people that I've already lived with for, 95 days. So it kind of had its pros and cons.
Yeah. I talked to Xavier, and obviously he, you said the cookout was there, some of them. But he said you were his number one, that you guys had kind of an implicit like trust there. Were you thinking the same thing going into the game? Going in, I definitely have like all of these friendships, like X was the person I was closest with in the Big Brother house and outside of the Big Brother house after. It's a weird balance going in because you have these friendships and these connections, and then you also were just lied to by them just 6 months ago, because we were filmed this 6 months after Big Brother. So it was a very weird feeling going in, having, your best friends there, but also your best friends that just lied to you. You don't want to like get got again. So my brain was just moving 24/7, but I really enjoyed having all my friends there. And when you were looking around, was everyone kind of thinking, okay, it's definitely going to start off like a Big Brother versus Survivor, like show kind of thing? Yeah, that I feel like for me, that's what it kind of felt like, because everyone had their close connections. Why go after them too early? Yeah. That's what it kind of felt like. It kind of felt like it's probably the easiest thing to do. But yeah. So how much of the challenge did you know? Like, how much have you watched in the past, or were you kind of new to it? Tell me about, I guess, your experience with the show. I watched a lot of the older seasons when I was growing up, so I definitely was a fan of it. I knew, other than Big Brother, the challenge is probably the only other competition show I would even do. So going in, I knew the whole concept. I knew TJ. I knew enough. I haven't watched a lot of the newer seasons just because in the past few years I have been too busy to even turn on a TV, but I have seen the past ones and I really enjoyed just seeing everyone competing. What you knew of it, what did you think about like the challenges and how you would do physically, like strategically, maybe, with things like puzzles or eating competitions and all the different stuff? What would you say were your strengths and weaknesses in your mind going into the game? Going in, I felt like for my body size, my strength was one of them. Going in, you're also going in and seeing these buff women that are just so intimidating. And, I have little string being me, like not really like super built, but I felt like I definitely had the strength as far as for my body weight. I had the endurance down. Puzzles, still not my thing, guys. I tried to practice as much as I could. And I was really practicing like my mental math. So I would say like quick math, endurance, and just physical strength as far as
as far as like what my body could do. So
did you have like a set strategy going in? Were you really thinking about it? Or were you like, let me go in and adapt and see what's going on first?
Going in, I was so nervous that I wasn't going to do very well. So my whole thing was going in and just not having regrets, going in and playing hard, playing smart, but playing hard. I feel like on Big Brother, you know, you really have to care about jury votes and this and that. And I played it way more safe because on Big Brother, you know, my number one person got out so early. So I kind of laid back and I just wanted to play how I wanted to play on Big Brother, which is like more like just gunning for everything and not looking back and being worried what people are going to think. So that's kind of what my mindset was just go for it, Alyssa. Don't look back and just, you know, compete your ass off was kind of my mind. I don't know if that's a strategy, but that's my mindset.
I feel like that's a good, like you've been on TV, you know how these things work. You don't want to regret anything. I get it.
Right, yeah.
Obviously the challenge, even more so maybe than Big Brother, is known for like drama and fights and hookups. Was this version of the show similar? And did you go in looking like being open to being like, oh, well, if I meet someone, or were you like, no, that's
no, God, no. Big Brother going in, I was open to anything. And I think that's what messed me up a lot too, was I wasn't going in. My only priority was winning. My priority was have fun too. And I feel like the challenge is going to be a totally different Alyssa people are going to see, where nonstop my brain was moving. And the only thing my brain was thinking about was the game. So I already did the showman's thing that is expired for me. So no, I went in and the only attractive thing that was there was the cash prize for me. So
outside the Big Brother people, did you have connections? Like, have you met some of these people before? Anyone that you were like, oh, we have a working relationship probably?
Other than people on Big Brother, I didn't know a single person.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if I've heard of people, like I've heard of some people before the show because you do talk beforehand, like to hear like, oh, have you heard this? Have you heard that? But as far as like an actual relationship, I didn't know anybody outside of Big Brother.
Have you watched Survivor, or are you more of a Big Brother fan?
I've never seen Survivor. I've never seen Love Island or The Amazing Race. I think I watched one episode of Amazing Race where I saw Kayla. But other than that, I'm not a huge TV person other than Big Brother and The Challenge, which is kind of ironic. So I have not seen any of the other shows.
What if Survivor or Amazing Race had called? Would you have said yes?
Survivor, absolutely not. You have to be a whole different type of human to do that. The Amazing Race, I would do it, but I think I'd be terrible at it. And then Island, there's no chance in hell I'd do that. So I think the only chance is Amazing Race, and I don't know if I'd be good at it. So
do you have a partner in mind for Amazing Race? Like if you got called?
Probably Christian. Just because we worked really well and we're still friends now. So I feel like The Amazing Race, you have to really like know your partner. And I feel like me and Christian are still close. So probably him or Hannah.
And what happens if Big Brother calls again? Is Alyssa saying yes?
Yeah, I am saying yes, actually. I talked to people about how, you know, after the season, it was a little hard for me to get back into the swing of things. I still have not finished watching my season. It gives me extreme anxiety. And then I tell everyone this and they're like, so would you do it again? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't really make sense, but I would want to do it. I feel like another season with a better mindset, I feel like I could go farther than I did. And I'm still really proud of how far I went. So I would like just one more time.